Good evening, everybody. I don't know if y'all know me. I'm sure that some of you do. You've talked to me many times, but you probably don't even know it. I'm the Divine Messenger. And that's why I'm going to talk to you a little bit. A lot of people think that I'm a woman because they never really see me. That's okay. Think whatever you want. But only because we've got both of everything in us, A lot of people thinking, hold on just a second. I got these damn things. Okay. Alright. It's been kind of a rough week these days, this last week, and I've been being hounded to get up and say my piece, and sometimes I'm wondering what that is, I know that people out there are, it's as if this generation has lost something, It's like when I was coming up, I knew that there was a God. And had God not come and seen me and talked to me, I may still have felt that way. I mean, we've got all this media, things like that going on, and someone taught me today to put that media away, and there was something I could do to just bring in God. I'll let you know how that works. Because I can't go by what is said on these things, because you wouldn't believe how many different opinions they are, and then we're not looking for opinions. We want to know what God has to say. And the only thing I know about that is God loves us, and He wants us all to be with Him. He wants to be with us. But in order to do that, there are a lot of rules that we have to follow. They're not hard rules, not really. But for some people they are, But we have to obey one thing. We have to accept the gift that He gave us through His Son. That's the beginning of it, right there. You realize who Jesus was, and did He die on that cross? Yeah, He did. Did He rise again? In my word, He did. I know that He's alive now. I've talked to Him. He's on the other side. He's not here yet, but He'll come. But you see, now's the time that you have to make that choice before He comes here. You can't make it when He gets here. It's already too late. Once He's here, it's already too late. You make that choice now to accept that gift. When that happens, the story doesn't end for you. You see, you then will start opening and waking up the soul that's within you. And I mean, most of us are we're born with a soul, although it sleeps. It's asleep when we get here. We've had our minds wiped to where we can't remember anything past this life. But there's actually someplace up there that has a veil, and it's veiled to us. But as you rise after your spirits woke up, I mean, then it rises in its being awake, and some of the veil gets thinner so that you start learning things about what it's like on the other side. It's where your ancestors are, you know. They've gone on, and life doesn't end when you pass away. I mean, it says in the Bible that we sleep. Well, we probably do. But some people may turn out to be guides, in which case they are guiding their bloodline, things like that. And I know that because my grandmother and grandfather are a couple of my guides, and I know for a fact that their spirit is still alive. You know, so and believe me, they have a lot to say about the life that we have here and what we do here, because everything that we do also affects that bloodline. Go figure, you know. These are things I've learned in the past 5 years, you know, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things. You know what I mean? Someone told me today that Armageddon's already happened, and I can believe this part of it because I know of quantum entanglements and things like that. That there's another world, and in different timelines. Okay, so that you are and we are probably living in a different world somewhere. And that's crazy. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a different time there. And this time here is probably, I don't know if it would be that, it would be past from that point, you know. So, we have light workers that are here. I don't know that they're all awake yet, but it's time for them to wake up. Who will assist in moving, people and show them the way to go to the new earth and stuff like that. And there's a lot of things we don't even know it's happening. But the best that we can do is, for the time that we're in, is accept that gift and love our Father in heaven, and because He loves us, and but we can do that much. I mean, that's easy to do. Some of us may never wake up, while we're here. Maybe they're not ready. I don't know. But it's wise if you can wake up from that spirit. It's a wise thing, because I don't know how long this whole world goes on for. Do you? I don't. I'm looking at it just like a regular guy, just like anybody else. There's a lot of things. I'm one of those earth angel light workers, whatever you want to call it. But here's the thing: there are a lot of people out here just like me who have not woke up yet, who don't know anything about who they really are. Then you've got a lot of people who are like walking around with no souls, but I don't know, somewhere this generation's gotten lost, It just seems to me. But it's time for us to pick it up and try to wake them up and see. We got to catch up, guys, because I laugh about it, but and you know, I don't know a lot about what's gone on since before I've lived. I know that I've been here before many times, and I know that I've lived into the ancient times. So there's ancient knowledge inside of me that I haven't seen yet, you know, because that's woke up in me. I haven't remembered all that, but it's what I'm told. I'm told it by the Most High. I'm supposed to wake this up, and you know, boy, I wish I could. I wish I could just do that, you know. But I don't know what's going to occur to make me wake up. I don't know how that works. You see, I've tried my best to learn as much of it as I can, but I imagine I'll get one of those kind of moments, you know, like aha, you know. I hope I do, you know. But I can tell you this much: there's a God up there who loves us, and it's time that we realize that we're late in the game, and there's someone who's going to come here who's going to make sure that we are saved. Now, if you accepted that gift and you had some sort of a relationship with that guy who hung on that cross, well, you can probably be pretty sure that you're going to make it to the other side. If you call yourself a Christian, but there's no knowledge of who God is or who Jesus is, he may not have any knowledge of you either. So I would suggest that you might try to learn some of that and pick up a good book and read it. Just, hell, you don't have to go necessarily to the Old Testament, although I love the Old Testament. You know, there's some great things in there. But listen, I've had to walk the story of Job. I've walked that. I've walked the story of Joseph. And I'm probably involved in doing that right now. I'm still in it. There are a lot of things. Probably, who was the guy? The guy who got stuck in the stomach of a fish. I'm probably in that mode too. You know, because I've never liked to be in the limelight. You know, I never liked the spotlight put upon me. You know, my life has been such that it was always best for me to stay kind of back in the back of the room, because that's why I felt safe, because my childhood wasn't all that good, and so I've had to overcome as much of that as I can. And I'm sure that a lot of you are the same way. Of course, you know, there's some people who just are just totally, they're good, you know, getting in that limelight. I don't know. But they may not be pure. See, I've been kind of lucky. I've kept my heart pure, you know. But things like, you know, love and things like that, it hasn't worked out for me, you know. Do I think it's going to? Kind of got the idea from something that Most High said the other day, that maybe it never will. It never will. That's kind of sad to me, because I always wished that would happen in my life, but some of us we're not really made for that, you know. Trust me, since I've gotten on this thing with God, it's kind of a lonely world. I'm not knocking it. Listen, I get a lot of grace and mercy from God. And he puts up with a lot for me, I think. But I'm not a bad guy either. I'm not, I've got my issues, but no, I'll stay working for God for as long as He lets me. Because I mean, I love Him. I love God. I mean, He's the only real Father I've ever known. And since I've come on this little deal with God, trust me, a big portion of my family have attacked me, and I'm just, listen, I might as well not have had any family the way they treated me. I'd been better off not to have any family. That's sad, but it's true, and that happens whenever you, look how they treated Jesus, They weren't kind to Him either. So, I it's my cross to bear, is why I look at it. But I did promise one thing, that I would bring His children home. And if you have accepted that gift from God, then I'm going to look at you and say, you're a child of God. And so it's time to get back to that, because we're in that time. It's time to get back to remembering who it was that put us here. We were His creation. And He put us here, and we're all going through lessons here in this planet. It's like we come here, we learn the lessons, and if we learn them, we go on and we don't ever come back here. Most of us come back several times, until we've got the lessons down, but this is my last time here, and that kind of makes me sad, because I'm not sure that you actually get a body, that is, you may look, what I saw in my ancestors is that they have a body, but it's in the spirit. And what I saw in God, He's got a body, but it's in the spirit. I don't know how that works. It's missing a 3D. It's more like in the 5D. You know what I mean? And but the thing to we got trees and birds singing and stuff like that, and I'm sure they can see all that, but I wonder how they smell the things, or I don't know how that works, my mind can't wrap myself around that. How if we don't have that physical body, you know what I mean? But don't get me to lying though. Oh hush, quit. Listen, I'm busy. Now quit. That's my kitty. Well, my sister's kitty. She left here. No, I've already put your thumb down there. I put your thumb down there, and that's it. No. He talks to me. He bugs me to death. Anyway, like I said, I don't know how that works, and soon enough, I guess I'll find out. I'm not in a big hurry, to find out, because I've still got lots to do here. I do know that, I see that the morals and the things like greed and things like that have grown in this world, and to the point that it's not good. It's like people only care about what they can, like making money, and that's the standard on which they live. And it's always been my standard was that if you're living a good life, and there's one way to tell. If everyone, or at least the majority of people who are supposed to love you when you pass, you probably lived a pretty good life. But I didn't anticipate this, and only ones that are around here that are close to me, well, they we were living by that, then I don't think they looked like I lived a good life, but I did live a good life. Those people were not right the way they treated my life, and I don't know what caused them to be that way, is there a demon in them, or, I don't know. I do know that they changed overnight. And maybe I just didn't see prior to that. But when I did see it, it was way big. God asked me to do this journey with him, and I'm going to finish it. And we've kind of started a movement, and God's behind us on it, to bring people back to him, because although God is in our hearts, he stays in our souls, and he lives there. I mean, he put himself into me. He sees out of my eyes. He walks with me. I walk with him. And I can tell you that the day comes when he can finally come back down here, because, there was too much things that we couldn't be around God, because if they'd said that if we came, look at Moses. When he asked, could he see God? And God said, well, I'll put you in that cleft of that rock right there, and I'm going to go by and I'll let you see the backside of me. That little bit of sight that he got to see of God, he just got to see the backside of him. He came down from that mountain, white-haired, like he's sunburned, and he shone like the sun when he walked down. He was changed. So if I'm guessing now that we can, safely say that had he come face to face with the actual God, he wouldn't have lived. That God's glory is just too much for us to stand in the light of, a lot of the books of the Bible were taken out of there, and I don't know why they did that. I wouldn't have done it. Just somebody in some religion decided, in all their infinite wisdom, that we couldn't handle the whole truth. That's not the way I would have done it. I'm sure a lot of people would agree. But they were books that we should have been able to read, but we didn't get to. I've read them. I've read some of them, and they are enlightening. But there are some that, you have to take with a grain of salt, because, But know this, that whenever God's going to do something, when he acts on this planet with humans, whatever he says is going to happen, it's going to happen. He's going to see to it that it happens just the way, it may not come out just exactly the way. He may have to rewrite the story a bit, but it comes out. It does. It happens. The end result is the same. If he says it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You and I couldn't do that. Now I've seen some people who think they can do that and play God, and I've met them. I myself will not ever try to play God. I don't have it in me to play God, and I wish good for everybody, and I'm not going to lie and everything to try to manipulate things. God doesn't have to do that. He can do as he pleases and make things happen. But most of us, if we want those things to all happen, we have to manipulate and do a lot of shady things to try to make that all happen. But I've met people like that lately, and I'm not happy about it, because me, I'm kind of innocent to those ways. I don't lie to people. I don't manipulate things, and I've let the things fall where they will. Sometimes things happen in our lives that are just the way they are, and that just maybe it's something that you signed up for before you got here. You know what I mean? But when you start doing things like that, manipulating things and causing marriages to end and people to steal a bunch of, stealing from people and stuff like that, and you're doing all of that, that's wrong. There's no right in all that. When you marry somebody, you do it because lots of reasons. I mean, like, back in old days, kingdoms got together. They'd have somebody marry two kingdoms together. It was kind of a thing that had to be done to make their lives safer or whatever. But in America, we love each other and we marry. We have children, and we raise our children, and that's and I think that they make divorce rather hard, rather easy. Which I was always aware that marriage is a different kind of a contract. It's kind of a covenant between a man and a woman and God. And as those people aspire to come closer to God, that they become closer together doing it. Now that's kind of the way it's supposed to work. But now we've got men marrying men, women marrying women. Things have changed, and I don't know. It's just kind of. I'm kind of old-fashioned when it comes to things like that. Of course, I'm not gonna put down anybody for what they do. Things change. I don't know. I guess when we get up there, we'll find out what God thinks of all that. I just, for my life, if I ever be married again, it's going to be with a woman. It's not going to be with a man. You know what I mean? That just couldn't be. It just can't be, because it wouldn't work for me. Ain't no way. But, I guess, I don't know. Sometimes I think that mankind's got kind of broken, and we need to just step back a minute and look and see what's right and wrong. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's why you don't see me on here much right now, because I have so many questions that have come along with this. I got past the training of this deal. You know what I mean? And I guess at some point I will. Well, I guess I'm kind of chosen. So, and what my vision is this. Is that I don't care. This got nothing to do with women and men or whatever. It's just all people. Is that God told me when He talked to me? He said He was doing this evolving of mankind to stop the wars. I believe that, and I believe that we are at a time when we can actually pull that one off. I would say to people don't be so serious about things, and remember that you are, after all, the child in us never really goes away. You know what I mean? And hold on to that. Don't be so serious that you can't laugh and play a little bit. You know, have a little fun, because it's good for your soul. It is good for your soul. And the world's gotten so serious, and people have gotten so, they don't do the things they used to do. Maybe they do. I haven't seen any of it lately. It's like it's gotten so hard now to do much of anything without just trying to survive. And I know that it wasn't intended to be that way. I think that somewhere financial things and, the ability to buy a house or what, like that, have just kind of gone by the wayside because someone's hanging on to all the money, and as we can't make our wages any more, and you have to, if you're going to get enough money to be in that bag, well, you're probably going to be working 2 or 3 jobs, and that's sad because it shouldn't have been like that. What happened? I don't know. I don't know what happened, but if I have anything to say about it, it's got to change. It's got to change to where things are more evened out, to where, if you look at wherever you go, anywhere you go, you've got a bunch of people who are homeless now, people not having enough to eat. That is just, I don't know what happened here, but I know it's happened in this generation. I'm not prepared to leave just that to my child, my offspring. I think that this world is a better place than that, and there are high-ups out there, who are running the show that maybe should not be running that show because they're not doing a good job. They're not looking out for anybody but their friends. I see what the government of America used to be. It's nothing like the government that I grew up seeing. Somebody just came along and decided that, well, since we're the bosses, we can just do anything we want. Well, no, you can't. And our founding fathers wrote a constitution to address, and if we were going to change that constitution, there are ways to do it. But man, I've seen the last 3 presidents do things that are just give them the right to just power grab, and so you can't blame it on one president. No, it's been working out. It's getting worse as we go along, and so I know that people out there are seeing that too. Now, you got a few diehards and they're saying, yeah, this is the way we want it. But you know what? No, this isn't the way people want it. Regular people like me, we don't want it like this. We don't want to see all of our people that might have done real well for 20 years, and then all of a sudden, bam, they're broke, they're homeless and everything, and all they did was work all their lives to get to what? No, there's a problem here. We've got a problem, and it's with our government. I'm sad to say it, but it's true. And if we have to say for all us regular people, our problem is our souls. And we need to stay and we need to bring God back into this thing, not send him out. Because in our time on this earth, God's been ruled out more and more as we've grown, and as this government's gotten more corrupt. They pushed God a little further out. And when those people came back from saving the world from World War II, They believed in God because they had a good reason to believe in God. God laid down to, okay, well, here we go. We got 2 world wars, and then, and those people saved the world. That's what they did. They saved the world from tyranny. And for all the saving they did, we've got tyranny staring us down the throat right now. That's not where we should be. Don't go into the night easily, I'm telling you. Don't see liberty and right be taken over by tyranny and wrong. That's where we're at. It's you know what I'm saying. So that's just the way I see it, and you know what? And so I call on our Father to move for the people who are His children, and give us the strength to deal with these things, because it's going to take some real leadership, to get back to good American values and good American morals. I mean, that's the way I see it. And used to be you could, I made a business one time, and it didn't take me but about $3,000, and it worked. It doesn't take a lot, but if everybody's trying just to feed their kids, there's very little money left to try to put back in. And we can't just go crediting. Credit is what's gotten us into so much in trouble as far as finance is concerned. I mean, each one of us probably owe, and we didn't get to spend it. But all these ridiculous things that government put money on, and they took it out of what? Social Security mostly. What's being put away, and so that they're probably close to broke. Now you can believe there's probably a bunch of money someone stored back, but they're not going to put that out there for these homeless people or anything. No, they're not. They don't care. The truth of the matter is, when it comes down to it, the American people, for sure, we're on our own, kids. We've got God, we've got us. That government up there doesn't really give a shit. Think about it. Go tell them. Go talk to them. You'll find out. I found out that they do not care. We've got a president who's hobnobbing with Russian oligarchs and stuff, who was just, bound and determined to see World War III come about. Well, I'm not taking the blame for that one, are you? I sure ain't. Because I don't have any problem with those people over there. I don't have any problem with any people. But I don't think that people should go around bullying people and taking their countries away from them. So how could anybody think that was right? But that's our president. Hey, he thinks it's right. It's okay. Yeah. I don't know. I just gotta say all that stuff, and I think it's true. I think what I'm saying is true. And you can't show me any evidence that's not. We need God back here, and God will sit back and watch us, but it's for us to come back to Him. You see, we got to go back to Him, because He's going to let us screw up. But God doesn't, take away our free will. So, what I'm saying is that, listen, There are a lot of good people out here, world. And it's up to us to change this world back to a better world. And it's going to take a lot of love. And it's going to take a lot of getting honest with ourselves. And we can't just fall asleep and let the government march us into hell. But that's what they'll do if we let them. So, I'm going to end this here. I'm going to say a little prayer here. Father in heaven, I ask you to move for your people now and help us to figure out a way that we can solve these problems. For too long, you've not been in this thing with us, and I know that you'll be in there for a lot of us now. And I ask that you look into these things and see what you can do to help us make it right, you know. And I ask the people out there that haven't accepted that gift from God of Jesus, you know. I ask you to do that. And it's just a matter of saying a little old prayer, giving that heart over to God, you know, and believe it or not, from what I've seen, He could sure march us out of these old woes that we have, you know, and give us the means to fix it. I pray that in His holy name. Amen.